Everybody, want to welcome you to the African Beat.
and Caribbean Heat podcast.
It's your boy Obadolas, aka Dalaman.
And I'm Queen Teah. Welcome back to our podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yes, how you doing today?
Good. How was your day?
Okay, so yesterday we got dumped on. We got
Yeah,
some
snow,
snow,
right?
you guys, and it's been freezing
Ooh,
here.
it's crazy.
Man.
Mm.
So today was a cold day, but it was a productive day. I ran some errands and did some volunteering today, so that was pretty cool. How
That's
was your
good.
day?
Mine was good, just cold.
Mm-hmm.
Still coming from the cold of the snow.
Yeah,
It's something that you can never get used to for me.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
had a good day at work.
Mm-hmm.
Struggle to go to work. I feel
Yeah,
like not going to work in the morning.
it's hard.
I looked
It's
outside the window. I'm like, do I have to go to work?
yes, you do.
But
If you want to make this money, you got
but
to
I
go to
gotta
work.
survive.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So and then it's Valentine's.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a whole lot of stuff to do.
Okay, yeah. So by the time this episode comes out, Valentine's Day would have already gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that was a couple of days ago. So a lot of people had an opportunity to, celebrate Valentine's Day with their special someone,
Yeah.
um, with gifts or, whatever the case may be, however they choose to celebrate. And there's probably some people that chose not to celebrate
But
for whatever
but,
reason.
but this year Valentine's Day was funny, man,
Why is
because
that?
they're doing Valentine's Day and they're
Mhm.
doing Ash Wednesday.
On the same
On the same
day.
day. So you go to
Yeah.
church and
Yeah.
then you get the ash stuff, and it's the
Mm-hmm.
day that you're supposed to be holy. You don't have to eat. You can't eat meat,
Uh-huh.
and then you do that, and then you take a girl out, and then you end up in the room, and then with the stuff you doing the stuff. It don't make sense.
Well, that's
So it's like being sorry for the sins and doing a sin the same day.
not
You
necessarily.
know
If
what I
if
mean?
if they're married, it's not a sin.
I'm not talking about the married people. I'm talking about the people that go to church and start looking for girls to talk to, or
Oh goodness.
people that are dating each other,
Uh-huh.
that's doing boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're
Mm-hmm.
using Valentine's Day as an opportunity to enjoy the cookie.
Oh my gosh.
And they got the ash on their head and doing the cookie.
Listen, it just so
You
happened that
know?
Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day fell on the same day this year. I don't think anyone planned that, but in the sanctity of marriage, it's fine. But for
Yeah.
those who aren't, it is what it is, I guess. So yeah, now we're in the Lent season. So a lot of people during the Lent season they um, use this opportunity to exercise some discipline in their lives. So a lot of people, like you mentioned, like they don't eat
Yeah.
meat. So like probably like seafood on Fridays kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I have a coworker. She told me that for the next 40 days, she's going to try to be a lot nicer to her teammates. So she's the kind of person that likes to gossip. So she's using Lent as an opportunity to minimize the amount of
That's
gossip
it.
that she does. Is there anything that you do during the Lent season that you want to exercise some discipline over?
I just nah. For me, I'm just normal. I just pray and
Mm-hmm.
thank God and
Mm-hmm.
just look at people. And then my mind, I'm like on the 14th. Valentine's Day was on the 13th or 14th.
The 14th.
On 14th of March, we will know how many ladies are pregnant.
Why are we going
Yeah,
there?
you know.
Well, since you keep
But,
wanting to talk about Valentine's Day, I thought this episode we can talk about um, the four-letter word
mm,
that people express on Valentine's Day.
it's part of Valentine's Day.
Yeah. We ain't talking about food, you guys. We're talking about LOVE, love.
Yeah. For those that are thinking about food, you should go to the restaurant and get some food before you
Yes,
start.
yes. Make sure you get something to eat. But we'll take this episode today to talk about love. And we can talk about love in different ways.
Yes.
So I want to kind of kick things off with love. So there's different types of love. You have love of like your family,
Mm-hmm.
your children. love of your siblings. You have romantic love, whether it be of like a spouse or someone that you're dating exclusively. You may also have love of things. So you may like love your car or love the house you live in, or you love animals. So you like dogs, cats, whatever the case may be. So when you think about love and your understanding of love, like what is your opinion when it comes to love, when it comes to like friendships and relationships? What's your stance on that?
For me, like um, love is a word and it means a lot to so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And the only love, like if we're going deep into love,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like love or believe that love is unconditional,
Okay.
meaning you love this person no matter what,
Yeah.
and you always gonna be with, you're gonna always be for that person no matter what.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then you have love that's conditionally,
Mm-hmm.
meaning however the person makes you feel
Okay.
that you love them. If they
Okay.
don't make you feel right,
Mm-hmm.
if they're not cool, then you don't love them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I believe the only person that can give me or unconditional love that's
Mm-hmm.
real
Mm-hmm.
is my mother and
Okay.
sister. Most people say their mother, but I'm adding my sister
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
So that's unconditional love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have love from relationship that I don't believe that's love. I just believe is an emotional statement.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? To sweeten the vibe.
Okay.
Where the love comes by conditionally of
Mm-hmm.
what you're providing
Mm-hmm.
and what you're doing for that person. You
Okay.
know, it goes both with men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I think about that.
Okay. Okay. So your stance is, um, when you think about love, you think of it from the standpoint of it being either unconditional or conditional.
Yes.
And your understanding of unconditional would be regardless of the individual, their actions, anything that may transpire, the individual that loves them,
Mm-hmm.
their love is unwavering, means it doesn't change.
Yes.
It remains the same. And for
Mm-hmm.
you personally, you said um, the only two people you see as providing you with unconditional love is your mother and your sister. That's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing,
Yeah.
to hear that. And then when you think of like conditional love, that could be based on your feelings and receiving
Yeah.
different things.
Mm-hmm.
So from the standpoint, as long as you continue to give me what I want, the love is there. But then once those things stop or
Love.
slow down, then the love could change.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I can see that perspective. Um, for me, love is not only a word, but it's also an action. Um, love for me is an expression of how you feel about someone or something. Um, it comes out in service. It comes out in the things you do for that individual because you want to be able to express your love and care for that person. Um, a lot of people may receive love through words,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of people may want to receive love through doing acts or receiving gifts and things like that. Um, there's this book by Gary Chapman called the Five Love Languages. So it kind of
Mm-hmm.
goes through like, the different type of way that people want to receive love. People want to hear it from their partners every now and again. So like, seeing someone and telling them that they're beautiful, that you
Mm-hmm.
appreciate them, that you love them, that um, they're important to you. They like hearing those words, and those words kind of fill them with joy and they feel validated by that person.
Yes.
So they refer to that as like words of affirmation. And then you have another love language is called quality time. So there's people
Mm-hmm.
that just enjoy being around other people that they love.
Yes.
They love spending time doing things together. It could be as simple as like watching TV together, or maybe going to run errands, or let's go to the movies, let's go to dinner, let's do an activity together. As long as we're together, they enjoy that. That's the way how they love to receive
Mm-hmm.
love that way. Another love language is gifts.
Yeah.
So kind of like to what you were saying with conditional conditional love. They love to they would prefer to have their love expressed through gifts. So
Mm-hmm.
you giving them something, you giving them jewelry, flowers, um, taking them out to dinner, something tangible. They like that. The next one is um, acts of service. So like washing my car would be a good way of you like showing love to me. Cleaning the house, mowing the lawn if the grass needs to be cut. Just those things that kind of take the burden off of that person is a way that they love to receive love. And the last one is physical touch. Yes. So that can be like holding hands, kissing, hugging. It could be intimacy, all of those things. So there's 5 different ways, according to this art author, of how people would want to receive love. So I think it's important, to determine from the person that you're in relationship with, or that you're married to, how they want to receive love. Um, I understand your perspective as far as unconditional love, and your belief that only a mother and for you your sister can love you unconditionally. And I mean that's your experience. I can't say you're right. I can't say you're wrong. That's just your experience. But I think it's definitely going to depend on the person, um, and the level of love and care that they have for that individual. Because there's a lot of people that will love despite or in spite of different things. You may see like women who have a husband or have a partner who may be a cheater. Okay, let me just use this as an example. They may cheat, and it breaks their heart that that person is choosing to step outside of the relationship and entertain somebody else. And someone else looking at that situation will be like, well, girl, you need to leave him, or hey, you need to leave her because they were not faithful. But because of the level of love and respect that they have for that person, they're choosing to stay in that relationship. And I mean that we can talk about that in a different sense as far as like settling. But in my eyes, they see that person as someone that they love, and they're willing to work through that situation. But I think when you kind of go into the conditional love space is when people repeatedly do things that harm the relationship and break the trust. So then the other person on the receiving end, they may start to change. Yeah. Because they want to protect themselves from being hurt by someone that they love. So that's just kind of my perspective on that. So I do agree with some parts of what you said there. There are people whose love is conditional. Their love is based on what you can do for them.
Yeah, that's why I said like any relationship, marriage, um, boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever, it's conditional, all of it. Why I say that is because um, it goes by what the man can provide,
Okay.
and it goes by what the woman can provide. So there's a rule for that.
Okay.
And when you're in a relationship or when you're dating, right? Thank you becomes a past word. It doesn't exist no more. Like how I give you something, you say thank you. It doesn't exist no more in relationship.
Okay.
What is being transferred as that is love.
Okay.
So instead of the lady or the guy saying thank you for taking me out on a dinner or whatever, they say I love you.
Okay.
Instead of them saying thank you for mowing my lawn, they say I love you.
Okay.
Because it sounds more nice in words, right?
Okay.
But in reality, it's by what you can offer. The day you don't offer that services is the day the love ends and everything ends.
Okay.
So I see it as when a woman tells me I love you, like it doesn't move me. I mean, because I know it's thank you for what I've been doing, right? And the day I stop doing that is the day that this relationship or marriage ends. And if I don't want that to end, that I'm happy with this lady, or if she's happy with this guy, she continues doing what she's doing that the other person appreciates to keep the relationship moving. So it comes to knowing that being real to yourself, because I've seen so many guys date a girl or marry a girl and they lose value in their own mother. They don't like they don't like show their mom love or buy their mom or give their mom time. They give everything to their wife
Okay.
or their girlfriend, right?
Okay.
But I laugh sometimes because end of the day, your mom is gonna be with you forever. Your
Okay.
girl can, you guys can now walk out tomorrow and she's gonna move on to another guy and you move on, and guess who you're gonna come back to? Same mom that you neglected.
Hmm.
So I believe people should understand what love is,
Okay.
and that's why I say there's two kinds of love:
Okay.
unconditional love and conditional love.
Mm-hmm.
And the realest love ever in the world is unconditional.
Okay.
That's why they say God loves us unconditional.
Okay.
We're sinners, we do bad things, we keep begging our God, and our God keep accepting us
Mm-hmm.
and telling us, child, do better. That's unconditional love.
Okay.
But any love that I have to provide or do something,
Mm-hmm.
that's not love. That's
Mm-hmm.
you saying thank you
Mm-hmm.
and me doing my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I live in realistic
Mm-hmm.
facts of life, right? And I always tell a girl that you see my mom comes first,
Mm-hmm.
because I can be married to you today and tomorrow we don't like each other, we divorce. Who am I going to go back to? My mom.
Okay.
She's always going to be the only mom I have till the day I die,
Mm-hmm.
or to the day she died.
Mm-hmm.
So I always advise men, take care of your mom. Your mom should be number one priority in love. Even when you're in a relationship or married, do what you have to do as a man,
Mm-hmm.
but also make sure your mom is good. Because I've seen so many guys neglect their mom because they with a woman that they feel that she loves him and he loves her, and then he don't take care of his mom or neglect his mom, and
Okay.
then some years later the girl, something happens, she dumps him, and they divorce, and then he has to cry and come back to his mom, the same mom you neglected. You're coming back like a whimper crying to her.
My
So
goodness.
people should start thinking in reality, understanding the facts of life, knowing that any relationship you're in, whether it's marriage, whether it's boyfriend and girlfriend, dating,
Mm.
your love is conditional. And the only person that can give you unconditional love is your mom. So if you're smart, you know what
That's a lot.
to do.
Okay. So where do I even begin with any of that? So God's love is perfect, right? The Bible said that God so loved the world that he gave. He gave.
Mhm.
So
His only begotten
your
son.
your point about giving and it being conditional because you're giving, to me it doesn't align with God's love for us because he loves us unconditional, that he gave his only son to come die for our sins so that we can
Mhm.
be saved and we can, have eternal life, right? And then also there's another part of the Bible that talks about when a man finds a wife,
Mhm.
he is to leave his mother, his father, cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one.
Mhm.
So I think in that scenario, my belief, my understanding of that scripture is that when a man marries a woman,
Mhm.
he leaves his parents, he
Mhm.
cleaves to his wife, and they are one.
Mhm.
So it's him, his
Wife,
wife,
his kids.
okay? So I also believe in making sure that you are caring for your parents in a healthy way.
Mhm.
I don't believe personally that the parent, specifically the mother, should be ahead of the wife, right? And that can vary from culture to culture, and I can respect that. But I'm of the mindset that the wife is next in line as far as love, and provision for, because that's whom you're married to. That's whom you join your life to. And yes, you're right. So your mother will be your mother to the day you die, the day that she dies. The same thing with your father, the same thing with your siblings, right? Um, with your spouse, anything can happen. You know, they can pass away. They can decide that they no longer want to be married and want to leave the relationship. So I get that, right? And at the end of the day, who do you go back to? You go back to your family. You go back to your mother. But you're still going to be out there looking for love or looking for a partnership or looking for someone to marry to be able to raise your children or to provide, you know, clean your house, cook your meals, whatever the case may be. So I hear you talk about conditional love from a woman's perspective, but then also I feel and think that there's conditional love from a man's perspective as well. Because if you decide to date a woman or marry a woman and she's not doing the things that you want her to do, I believe that would also reduce your care and love for her. Your love would be conditional toward her because she's not doing the things that you think that she should be doing as a wife or as a girlfriend. Same thing with her. If you stop providing, you stop doing all the things that she feels as a man you should be doing, then her love could waver as well. So a lot of times it sounds like it's always pointed toward the woman, that the woman is the one that's conditional because if I stop doing this, she's going to not love me anymore. She's going to want to leave the relationship. But the same can be said for men as well. You know, it's all fun and games until you stop doing what they want you to do, and then all of a sudden, like, you're the bad person, you change, you this, you that. So I think it's important to give both sides of the story and not only make it seem that the women are the ones that love conditional. People love conditional, period. You think about children, if you discipline your child, you take away
Mm-hmm.
like their games or something, they're upset with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they, depending on who the child is, they might try to say something mean to you, and I would never suggest a child disrespect their parents, but like, um, they get upset, they say hurtful things, like, you know, um, and just, but it's in the heat of the moment. But I think at the end of the day, they don't really mean that. They're just upset.
Mm-hmm.
So I think love isn't enough to sustain a relationship. So I get you. Like, you do something for someone, they say, instead of they saying thank you, they say I love you.
Yeah.
And if that's how they choose to express that gratitude by saying that they love you, then that's great. I'm not sure if that is more so the case here in the US. Like, if someone does a gesture for you, you tell them thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so are you saying that more so specifically like in your culture from your experience back home, that that's kind of like the response from people when things are done for them, that they say I love you instead of saying thank you?
No, I'm saying in general, even in the US, because couples, what do they say when the couple buys them something?
Thank you.
I love you.
They say thank you.
No, they say I love you more than thank you.
They say thank you.
So I've seen you saying what you have witnessed. I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing what I've witnessed.
Okay.
I've witnessed it here. Couples, when the man does something for her, he tells him, "I love you,"
What about the woman
and she
when she does something
appreciates
for him? What does he
when
say?
when she does something for him.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it probably the same, "I love you," or sometimes "thank you." But women tend to say, "I
It's
love
always,
you" more
oh God.
than men. That's one. Then I wanted to
Uh
put
huh.
something that you were saying earlier ago.
Yeah.
About you can't compare women and men
Yes, we can.
unconditional.
Yes, we can.
Why I say that? Men do more for women than women do for men.
Ridiculous.
You can never hear a woman say, "I'll catch a bullet for you. I'll die. I'll die. I love you past my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'll die for you."
Mm-hmm.
Who says that more? Men.
Okay.
So men do show and do more love than women
That's not
do.
true.
You can disagree, that's fine,
I do
but
disagree.
I'm saying the facts on my own terms. And if you guys agree with me, let us know later on the comment
I'm
box.
sorry, I don't.
Men do more for women than women do
That's
for
not
men.
true.
When we value a woman,
Mm-hmm.
we go all the way.
And women do the same too.
No, women's don't.
Yes, they
Women's
do.
are very calculative
Men are very calculative as well.
and very back on the aspect of doing the love. So
Oh,
we're not the same. Men's do more for women than women
that's
do.
not true.
That's one. Two, when you was talking about kids, right?
Uh huh.
Women love their kids more than they love their husband.
Mm.
If she had opportunity to save her kid, knowing that she cannot give birth again,
Mm-hmm.
she's in her menopause,
Mm.
and she can only save her child
Mm-hmm.
or the husband.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be. Guess who's she gonna save?
Her child.
The child.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows you that we have unconditional love. We have we have conditional love. The love they have for us is not real.
Okay.
That's one. Two, when a
Oh
parents
goodness.
discipline a child,
Mm-hmm.
the child is not happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the parents still loves the child because
Mm-hmm.
after the discipline, they say in my culture, you use one hand to discipline the child and use
Mm-hmm.
one hand to draw the child close.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning when the parents is disciplining that child,
Uh-huh.
they're also telling the child, this is why I'm disciplining you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
I want you to do better.
Yeah.
You're my everything.
Yeah.
The child can be upset, but they can like, damn, my mom, she loves me.
Okay.
So we men, we don't get love, and we okay with it. We don't. Typically, most men don't believe in love. We just believe in this is what we gotta do,
Mm-hmm.
and the love part is a nice word that women like to say.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as she's okay and she's happy,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids are okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're good. So
Mm-hmm.
men give more to women than ever.
No.
So it's about time women start up appreciating the man
Mm-hmm.
and understanding that
Mm-hmm.
men created this world.
Mm-hmm.
We also like to be loved
Do they?
unconditionally.
Oh, do they? Oh.
Unconditionally. If I don't have money and I still don't have money for rent,
Mm.
love me and find a way to pay the rent.
Mm.
Not saying, "Oh, you're a broke guy. I'm gonna leave you and go to another guy." Nah. So it's sad how
Oh goodness.
we pretend, most especially the women pretend
Of
without
course,
love.
the men pretend as well.
That's why one of my mentors says, "Don't always listen to what a woman say.
Don't always listen to what a man has
Look
to say.
look at her action.
Same. Look at the man's action.
Action is the fact." You know. So for me, um, it's just a mind game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like playing chess.
It is.
If you ain't smart, you know what happens in chess. So for the only person that will love you unconditionally is your mom. And another thing I want to add to what you said about
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm.
God said when a man finds a woman, right,
Mm-hmm.
you move with your woman and you become one. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
say abandon your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom is always first. Your
Mm.
mom was your first love.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom, you should always make sure your mom is good.
Okay.
Even though you're living with your wife and
Mm-hmm.
kids and your own new place, a
Mm-hmm.
new home,
Mm-hmm.
your mom visits. Your
Mm-hmm.
mom comes over.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your mom is incapacitated, then she comes and stay with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Then your wife is looking after her. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So
Your
my
wife is
point,
looking after her.
yeah,
Okay.
with you, as in you and your wife are looking after
Okay,
her.
got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But most times the wife because woman to woman, you
Mm.
know. So
Mm-hmm.
um so what I'm saying is that
Mm-hmm.
we gotta understand there's a two type of love,
Mm-hmm.
conditional and
Mm-hmm.
unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
And men's be smart when you're dealing in a relationship or marriage because the love is conditional. You give, you receive.
Mm-hmm.
But we give more.
Mm-mm.
And sometimes we get overwhelmed
Mm-mm.
or overburdened by
Mm-mm.
what we give.
Mm-mm.
And sometimes it's not even appreciated by the woman. So if you have a lady that doesn't appreciate it, put an L there, bro.
Yeah.
So
This
yeah.
the same for women. If you're dealing with a man who does not appreciate you, then you need to do what you need to do as well. So to sit here, so one thing I want to make clear to you is I know that men and women are not the same. I know that. So I don't need you to constantly tell me that men and women are not the same when I'm trying to draw differences between the two. I know that men and women communicate differently. Their level of understanding is different. There's the narrative that women are more emotional, men are more logical. Okay, fair enough. There are men who are more emotional. There are women who are more logical. But in general, women are more emotional, men are more logical. I'm not debating that at all. To now rank or say that men do more for women than women do more for men, I mean, I don't believe that. I believe that people contribute in the way that they feel they need to contribute. I'm not of the mindset of comparing what men do versus what women do, because we're not the same. What we contribute to society, what we contribute in our household is not the same. There's a time and a place for everyone and everything. So I'm not going to sit here and say that women love more or that men love more. What I am saying is that when people love each other, they show it through words, through actions, and that's just simply it. Now you mentioned about the Bible reference that I mentioned earlier about a man finding a wife and the two of them joining together and becoming one. Never did I say that you are to neglect your parents. I never said that. Now there are some people that choose to just forget about or not honor or take care of their parents because they're focused on their wife, they're focused on their household. And that's their decision, right? That's their decision. I can't tell them they're right. I can't tell them they're wrong. It's not my position. That's their choice. That's what they choose to do. But the Bible explicitly says that they become one. So if you personally want to rank your mother above your wife, that is your decision, right? But to say that that's how it should be is not your place or my place to tell someone how to operate in their household. So they do whatever they think is appropriate. I think it's a balance. The wife comes first. Yes, you want to take care of your family, but your wife comes first. That's who you married. If that was the case and mom is going to be number one, then don't get married. You can just have women all over the place and do whatever you want to do to repopulate the earth. You can get the whole village pregnant. I don't care. But like, why take a wife and then she got to sit in the background because your mom has to be first all the time? To me, and again, it could be a cultural thing. I respect that, but I just don't get it because that's not my reality. That's not what I was used to. That's not how I was brought up. So again, I'm not going to sit here and say like that way is right, that way is wrong, but to put it out there as if like that way is the way, it's not correct. Okay? So again, with the comparison between men and women, that men do more for women, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. You know, I think people operate in the spaces that they need to operate when to get things done, right? Would a woman say, "Well, I'll take a bullet for you"? Yes, some women may say that they'll take a bullet. Some of them may. Some I don't. I can't tell you.
Would you take a bullet for a guy?
I'm not answering that question. We're not talking about me. All I'm saying is that the way how you make statements, you make it like so finite. Like it's like your word is law and it's not. My word is not law. Okay. So yes, there are women that would sacrifice their spouse to save their children. Yes. There may be some women who would sacrifice their children to save their spouse. It happens. It happens. But you've seen, I don't know if you've seen or heard, but there've been like stories, articles, news stuff that talks about like women going through extreme lengths to try to save their children. You know what I'm saying? Running into a burning house to grab their kid, or just whatever the case may be, running into the ocean if their kid is drowning. So to say like women won't sacrifice themselves to save somebody, and that means that they don't have conditional or unconditional love, I think is bullcrap. I don't think it's true. Now, I also do believe that there are women that operate in that space where their love is conditional. So again, it's duality for me because there are some people that operate in that space. There are some people that don't operate in that space. But just to say a blanket statement that women love conditionally, men love unconditionally, that's bullshit. I have a challenge with that, right? So I believe in love. Let me just say this. I believe in love. I believe in the feeling of love. I believe in the duty of love. I believe in the action of love. I believe that people's love can evolve throughout the years. So the love that you have for somebody in the beginning when you first met them, as you continue to do life, your love will change because we change as people. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago, right? Praise God, you're a better version of yourself. So the love is going to change because you're growing with that person. You're going through the ups and downs of life.
That's not love.
You're going through the ups and downs of life.
That's
okay? Can you let me finish?
Carry
Thank
on.
you. You're going through the ups and downs of life. That's his opinion. He doesn't believe that that's love because he doesn't believe in love. That's him. Everybody doesn't think like him. Praise God. People, there are some people that do believe in love, and I'm with y'all because I believe in love too. But we evolve, we grow older, our mindset shift, the experiences that we've had in life, it alters the way how we look at things. And for me, I know that there's some days that I may not like my partner because they may have said something or they might have done something I didn't like, right? And it put a sour taste in my mouth. But if at the end of the night I go to bed still choosing that person, I wake up in the morning still choosing that person despite of what happened, to me that's love. That's how I define it. That's how I move with it. So of course people may have a different opinion than me, and that's fine. You're entitled to that, and kudos to you. But to say that women are this, men are that, I don't believe it.
Yeah. So